in this Sunday game.
Have won their 20th All-Ireland title. What? And there it is, the moment they've been waiting for. Cool, baby! It's Christy happening again. He's going through. He's getting ready to take a shot. And it is a goal. A goal by Christy Heffernan. Burning down the house.
Ball in towards BJ Delaney to finish off the strike. He's done it! Sean McCabe making the presentation, and it's Kilkenny who are the champions once again. To be away, burning down the house.
The celebrations are in full flight as the people of Kilkenny go all out to enjoy their day in the sun. Yes, Kilkenny answered most of the doubters today, but there's still a couple of questions to be answered tonight. Kilkenny put in an awesome performance of sublime hurling skill as they notched up yet another All-Ireland hurling title. Highlights coming up. The Galway Miners were also winners today. We'll be looking back on their victory. Who will be the RTE man of the match? The answer to that one coming up. And we'll be visiting the Kilkenny Team Hotel as they celebrate their All-Ireland victory. Yes, the big game of the year in hurling was played out at Croke Park this afternoon, and here on the Sunday game tonight, we reflect on the day that's been, as well as the night that is. Highlights of the All-Ireland final coming up. We'll have analysis in studio, and to that end, we have Cyril, Farrell and Liam Griffin here with us for their views. Also, we will be looking at the winning and losing of this year's final, and we'll be naming our man of the match from the big game. Who's that going to be? Make sure you do stay with us. Now, in addition, we'll be visiting, as we said, the winners' banquet. And for the last 2 years, the All-Ireland final dinner was a subdued affair for Kilkenny. Certainly not so tonight. Great celebrations out at the City West Hotel, and we'll be going there a little bit later on. But first, though, to the match itself. A match that, of course, was a repeat of the All-Ireland final of 2 years ago. And all of Kilkenny hoping that it wasn't going to be a repeat of the result. Well, going into the game, Kilkenny certainly had the advantage in the statistics. 25 titles against Offaly's 4, even if that one of that 4 was in '98. Offaly's road to the final had taken them past Wexford. Then there was that Leinster final defeat to Kilkenny before coming back with victories over Derry and Cork. Kilkenny had scored wins all the way over Dublin, Offaly and Galway. Henry Shefflin was Kilkenny's top scorer with 19 points up to today, and Johnny Dooley was the man for Offaly with 32 points. So then, a great day of colour for the fans, but a day of tension ahead for the contestants. Watching it all unfold, Liam Griffin and Ger Canning.
Well, Kilkenny announced one change in their forward line, as we know, and there was always that major doubt about Brian McAvoy. Nothing to worry about in the back, however, where Willie O'Connor has come back to captain this team, featuring 2 pivotal players playing in their first All-Ireland finals. Their fullback Noel Hickey and centre-half Eamon Kennedy. Brian McAvoy has come through that fitness test, and so he plays in midfield. The change in the forward sees John Hoyne get the nod over Stephen Graham. He joins a most effective half-forward line, while that firm of Carter, Carey and Shefflin simply rattle up the scores. There's John Troy just on the left-hand side of the subs. What a sub to be able to bring on. And there is Joe Erity, started his career as the goalkeeper in the minor ranks. Offaly, the Leinster runners-up then, and later conquerors of Cork, name an unchanged formation, no surprise there. Today, Simon Wheelahan is having a season to remember, while it's a first final for Niall Claffey, the left corner back. Joe Erity anchors a highly talented half-back line, while in midfield, Ger Oakley did enough in the semi-final to retain his place alongside Johnny Dooley. In attack, Johnny Pilkington plays his 40th championship match in a forward line of match-winning possibility. It contains two other highly experienced practitioners, Michael Duignan in the right corner and Joe Dooley, playing today, as I say, for the 50th time for his county. That is some record. So Willie Barrett gets the match underway. It's the 112th All-Ireland hurling final. Johnny Pilkington, Offaly playing from left to right. Willie O'Connor, the Kilkenny captain, down towards DJ Carey, coming out, getting good quality ball, laying it off neatly. Dennis Byrne whipping on it, and that ball has gone just to the right. Byrne playing across there at right half forward in a switch with John Hoyne. Hoyne will be number 10. Dropped into the inside forward line towards Michael Duignan, not a great ball. Outside towards Andy Comerford. Over there chasing Alfred is Brendan Murphy. Still Comerford. Charlie Carter races in after it. Claffey is there for company. DJ Carey going across. Kevin Keenahan. And the referee deciding that it's a free in Kilkenny. Kevin Keenahan, a judge to have fouled DJ Carey. What a task he's got this afternoon. So will this be the opening point of the match? Henry Shefflin about to take it. Going across here to Dennis Byrne, better angle. Good choice, great point.
Clever point. Very difficult angle, picked his man out very well.
Dennis Byrne, man of the match, of course, in the semi-final win against Galway. This is where Shefflin picked out the loose player, and Dennis Byrne had plenty of attitude. Kennedy driving it downfield. Back once again it comes. Philly Larkin in here to intercept. So just 1 point in the match so far. That credited to Dennis Byrne.
Philly Larkin has started off much better than the last 2 days. He really seems to be fired up because he had two particularly bad days. So it looks promising for Philly at the start.
I think he really needed to up his performance. Here comes Andy Comerford. In towards Henry Shefflin. Ready to take off, ready to cut loose. Falling, striking, but putting it over the bar. Henry Shefflin from Shamrocks. And Kilkenny had made the best possible start. He was on his knees when he hit that one eventually. Taking off here. Down he went, but over the ball went. Ger Oakley had such a good semi-final. Up towards Joe Dooley. It beats him, however. Not so Philly Larkin. Back in towards Henry Shefflin. 3 against 2 in there. Claffey fumbles. DJ's on his way. DJ Carey. Great goal. Only 6 minutes gone. DJ Carey was anticipating, showed lightning pace and a dashing finish. He didn't score, of course, in last year's final, but here he is in the early stages of the 2000 final, making sure. Dennis Byrne was challenging. It wasn't an effective challenge. Willie O'Connor there. Michael Duignan, he's an experienced performer. Can he lead the way? Comes out once again to John Ryan. Joe Dooley looking for a point just to settle down Offaly, and he's got a beauty.
That is a magnificent point. I mean, that's as good as DJ's goal in terms of execution. And this man, Gentleman Joe, a wonderful player. That is an extremely good point.
Look how far out he was. Look, Andy Comerford was after him, trying to close him down. Very awkward angle, and he still made it. Down towards Andy Comerford, battling in there with Ger Oakley. Picked up here by Brendan Murphy. He's a really pacey player, but that's Brian McAvoy. First time we've seen him in the match. That'll do his confidence a lot of good. Here they come with John Hoyne. Surprise choice inside for Henry Shefflin. Berrigan goal again. Stopped on the line, and it's in. DJ and Henry Shefflin were close at hand.
Seemed to have crossed the line, Ger, perhaps.
May well have done, and it's 2-2 to a point. Did Henry Shefflin get it? I think he may well have done so. Let's look again. Before DJ got the touch to it, I think it had gone over the line. The credit will go to Shefflin. A goal after 9 minutes. 2 goals in 3 minutes.
That was an extremely important win by John Hine. John Hine made that goal. He beat his man and made the play.
Here comes Shefflin once again. Won't come up from this time. Simon Wheelahan is in there. This is a terrible start by Offaly. There's DJ, and there is another score.
What about that for a point, Ger? What about that for a point?
He's not a bad young player, this guy.
He'll do, I think.
He'll be 30 this year, you know, DJ Carey. Here he comes off. Wheelahan unable to get in the block, and that's over the bar. A test now of Offaly's renowned character and fighting ability. Eamon Kennedy on for power. Beyond DJ Carey, Kevin Keenahan is around. Here comes Henry Shefflin. Lovely pick-up by Charlie Carter. Carter chased there by Simon Wheelahan, and that's gone over the bar. Everything is going right for Kilkenny. Everyone in the inside forward line has now scored.
He said it'll be the key, Ger. It's 2-3 for that line in something like 9 minutes, is it?
Yep. This is sensational scoring. Comerford is here. Oakley. John Power. Whipped away by Johnny Dooley. Beautiful turn by Michael Dygan, but can he get it on his stick? He's been held, and it's a free into Offaly. Jersey was being tugged, the referee has said. So a chance of another score. Johnny Dooley. 2 points so far. He's got yet another. All the Offaly scores have been scored by the Dooley brothers. Johnny Dooley, not a great strike. Brian McAvoy picks out his man here, who happens to be John Hoyne. And John Hoyne drops it in, but only as far as Stephen Byrne. Michael Dygan was anticipating. He's got it. Lovely hand pass ahead. Johnny Pilkington. One man who certainly could cause problems to the Kilkenny half-back line. Willie O'Connor standing firm. Here's John Ryan. Lovely turn. Beating Peter Barry. The hand pass inside to Pilkington. Dropped it at the most inappropriate time, and it's whipped wide. And it's wide by Michael Dygan. He can't believe it. That was the best goal chance that Offaly has had so far. The result of a lot of good work here. John Ryan inside, dropped down, Pilkington in, and Dygan flashes it across the goal-mouth area towards Andy Comerford. John Power coming through from centre half forward, back to Comerford. They look for another score after a couple of close shaves at the other end, and Andy Comerford puts it over the bar. It's his first point of the day, and he makes it 2-5 to 4 points.
You'd have to expect that Gerard Oakley has made very little contribution yet for Offaly, and he's going to have to get to grips with Andy Comerford, because it's certainly causing problems for Offaly in midfield.
Here's Johnny Dooley. This is stopped here by Eamon Kennedy. Referee whistles against him.
Very difficult decision that. You could have given it either way.
There are a number of baffling decisions in this match. That's the 65-metre line, the Offaly 65-metre line, so it's a long way out. And he's put this one over the bar. 4 points now for Johnny Dooley, all of them from frees, including a 65, but that was a huge one. And they keep in touch. Gerard Oakley seems to be calling for this one. Brendan Murphy loses his stick, he's dragged back, and it's going to be a free in. Brian McAvoy is going off the Kilkenny team, and it seems to be Canis Brennan who's coming in. As suspected, he wasn't anywhere near 100% fit, and it's Canis Brennan from Connacht Shamrocks who comes in for Brian Cody's team. Dooley. Nicely taken. He's got 5 points out of Offaly's tally of 6, and his brother Joe has got the other one. And the rest of the forwards need to get moving, otherwise his team are going to win this All-Ireland.
Canis Brennan is a huge addition for Kilkenny as well, because he was brilliant in the last 2 All-Ireland finals. Now, he hasn't played any match, but I hear he's going well in training, and he will not be found wanting for heart, I can tell you that.
Offaly's inside forward line has been completely restructured. Only Joe Dooley remains from the starting three. Johnny Pilkington and Gary Hannafy have now moved in there. Michael Duignan is out at right half forward. Meanwhile, Charlie Carter leaving this one short. Johnny Dooley out to Michael Duignan. Not a great ball, impossible for the forwards to take. Always favouring the goalkeeper. Brendan Murphy dropping it down. Peter Barry. About 6.5 minutes to go to half time. Joe Erity stepping into the breach. Over towards Johnny Pilkington. It bounces off his hand. Good work by Eamon Kennedy. He's had his detractors, but my goodness, he's played well in this final. John Hoyne, superb in training. That's Brian Whelan. In towards Joe Dooley. Michael Cavanagh's come out to follow him. John Ryan. Here's Johnny Pilkington. They need some more scores. Can he provide it from an almost impossible angle? He can. Great point by Johnny Pilkington. Sometimes seen as the joker in the pack, but my goodness, he's serious about his hurling.
Brilliant piece of skill. Beautiful strike of the ball. That's a difficult angle.
A really difficult angle, and the Offaly fans here in the new Hogan stand, as it's taking shape, feel they're in with a chance. The margin is down to 5 points. Henry Shefflin seemed to be turning on his left-hand side, inside towards John Power instead. Dennis Byrne, lovely skill, very creative player, very assured, lovely strike. That's a second point. So 2 goals between them again. But this was Dennis Byrne at his very best, turning beautifully, and a sweet strike. Billy Larkin, that's a lovely catch with his left hand, and then players coming to assist. The 2 other wing backs were there to help. Niall Claffey stumbling as he was making his way out there, but there was no foul. Kevin Keenahan watching the player on the ground, who appears to be DJ Carey, and there as well was John Hoyne. It'll be a throw ball. 4 minutes to half time.
The surprising thing, Jerry, is the Kilkenny full forward line has started to come out a lot more than they were earlier, and they're killing their own space. It's surprising.
It was all working so well for them for the opening 10 minutes, but they've had this gap over Offaly all through the first half. Joe Erity contesting with Henry Shefflin, and here comes DJ Carey. DJ Carey, saved, and it's whipped in the end, and it's another goal, and it's Charlie Carter this time. 3 goals in the first half, scored by each and every one of the inside forwards. This one coming after 32 minutes. DJ was racing forward. That's a great strike, good save, but punished by Charlie Carter from the goalkeeper's angle. And who would be a goalkeeper in a match like this, with DJ coming in, then Charlie? He hadn't a ghost of a chance. And on top of that, behind them, there were 2 men with white coats. They say you want to be nuts to play in goal. Here he comes again, touchdown by Henry Shefflin, and popped over the bar. A goal and 2 points for DJ Carey.
And I'm not so sure it's not 2 goals and 2 points, by the way, Jerry. I mean, that ball may not have been over the line. I think he might have got a touch on it. I'm not sure.
Well, I think Niall Claffey may have kicked it out.
But however, he's been involved in all 3, Jerry.
He's been involved in every one, quite right. About a minute to go. Brendan Murphy. Philly Larkin loses the stick. Eamon Kennedy coming in here, playing his best game of the championship so far. Dropping it in beyond Charlie Carter. DJ coming out for it. There too is Simon Whelan. And that is going to be a sideline ball for the Cats.
Offaly have to get a goal to keep this game alive, and it certainly would make a big difference at this stage, but they have to get one to keep this game alive.
What is interesting is that Offaly have created more chances than Kilkenny in this first half. They've created 18 scoring chances. Kilkenny have created 15.
But Ger, how often have we heard that goals win matches?
Yep.
The Offaly half-forward line are not getting enough ball in.
But you recall the semi-final, Offaly against Cork, when Cork went for too many goal chances. when there were points there for the taking and hit a load of wides. So that may be a worry for the Offaly management heading into half-time, because at half-time they are well behind. They trail in this match by 10 points. 3 goals scored by DJ Carey, Henry Shefflin, Charlie Carter, and it's 3-8 to 7 points at the half-time break.
The more fossil fuels we burn to generate electricity, the greater our greenhouse gas emissions. So fitting a lagging jacket saves on heat and vital natural resources, which is good for your pocket and your planet. To find out how you can make a world of difference, contact the Irish Energy Centre.
Ballygowan still, 800 years of purity reflected in you.
Now all Speakeasy customers can use their phones abroad and rely on real per-second billing. It's the only truly prepaid roaming service available to Irish customers at very competitive rates. Speakeasy, just pay and roam.
Delicious Denny wafers, the original American-style ham. Sliced wafer thin to melt in your mouth. No other ham tastes like Denny wafers.
Hey, Mr. Hare, why are you haring around? Haven't you heard of Cadbury's Caramel? See how the thick Cadbury's milk chocolate melts into smooth golden caramel. Take it easy with Cadbury's Caramel and Nuts About Caramel.
Colin, it's me. What you got? Come and have a look at this. Oh, what a beauty. That's like yours. Come and have a look at this. Come on, look at the body of that.
You lot are sad. Don't you ever grow up?
Yes.
At autotrader.ie, you'll find your perfect partner.
Now available to rent at Extravision. Nobody knows if she did it.
I didn't kill my husband.
Only one man believes her.
You ever arrest anybody you thought was innocent?
Starring Tommy Lee Jones and Ashley Judd. Freedom is Murder.
Daddy!
Nick?
What are you talking to me for? She's the one with the gun.
I could shoot you and they can't touch me.
Double Jeopardy. Now available to rent at Extravision. The future of home entertainment.
Today, people are sending video mail
instead of email.
This year, the internet will allow millions of businesses to make phone calls for free.
One day, a business not on the internet will not be in business.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Virtually all internet traffic travels across the systems of one company, Cisco Systems, empowering the internet generation.
Are you ready?
Take an autumn break at Kilkenny Racing Festival, October 12th, 13th, 14th at picturesque Gorham Park. Then enjoy the atmosphere of Kilkenny's superb pubs and hotels.
Aware supports people affected by depression. It's a debilitating, often hidden illness affecting over 200,000 Irish people. Your support can make a difference.
A capacity crowd for this important hurling game between two great rivals.
No more small town. No more small minds. No more thick ankle girls. No more nice job, nice car, nice tie. No more nice. No more Mr. O'Brien. No more what time do you call this? No more cosy grey, sat in front of the telly, nowhere to go to, same old life. New job, new town, new start.
Hurling at its best, but another crushing defeat for the home team.
All that matters is the result. RTE Online delivers sport on the dot.
They're ready to go for the second half. Kilkenny lead then by 10 points. Let's go back to Liam and to Ger.
Thank you very much, and indeed there is a significant change straight away at the start of the second half made by the Offaly selectors. Brian Wheelahan has gone to corner forward, and of course Michael Duignan has switched with him and he's gone back to wing back. Well, Brian scored 1-6 in the 1998 All-Ireland final when they moved him up to full forward. Can you repeat that feat? Well, there's not a doubt in the world, Offaly needs scores quickly, and Johnny Dooley's down there injured. I think he was fouled by Peter Barry. Peter Barry had his number taken. You may just see it here. There you are. They crashed into one another. Johnny Dooley. They need something here. That's a great catch by Philly Larkin. He's having a remarkable game. They chase after him. John Ryan's trying to flick it away from him. Here's Larkin, and he is fouled unceremoniously.
A very heavy tackle, shoulder stuck in him.
Ger Oakley, the player who's being spoken to, didn't have the best of first halves, and right now he has incurred the referee's displeasure with a yellow card.
But Ger, to be fair in hurling, this goes with the territory a lot when you're coming out with a long ball. Fellas will meet you up. It was unfairly, but fellas will meet you up coming out with a ball like that, and Philly Larkin knows that too. But he's having a magnificent game, Philly Larkin, and full marks to Brian Cody. A lot of people would have criticised him severely if Philly didn't turn up for this, but he's doing it today.
Philly Larkin today hoping to win the family's 10th All-Ireland medal. All the way in, but all the way out as well. And now Offaly are about to make a personnel change. It's time to bring on a man who might just turn it for them, John Troy. They need something special. It will be his 32nd championship match. Philly Larkin again. This time Brendan Murphy looked around, had Joe Dooley as an option. Murphy taking it in past one man, he's then fouled, and Philly Larkin is going to be spoken to by the referee for that.
Philly Larkin shot very severely on him at that stage.
It was as Brendan Murphy was going in that the foul was committed by Larkin, and he's got himself a yellow card. So that's two members of that half-back line who've now been booked. This is it again in reprise. Oof.
Yeah, there was a heavy tackle. He was taking him out. There's no question about that, Joe.
Johnny Dooley needs this. There are 3 goals between the teams. Johnny Dooley has got 6 points. But the Offaly fans hoping for something special. John Troy still about to come in. Taken off in the quarter-final by Pat Fleury and his selectors against Derry.
Now, Brian Wheelahan and Joe Dooley are inside as a two-man full forward line. John Ryan is pulled out forward a bit.
John Power wins it. A hand pass outside to Charlie Carter, coming back from Ger Oakley to make a bit of space, and he knocks it in beautifully. What confidence, what style, what class. Charlie Carter now with a goal and 2 points, and that is from 3 shots on the target. Every one of the inside forward line now has scored a goal and 2 points. If we give the goal to Henry Shefflin, there may be a doubt about that. Gary Hannafy. Canis Brennan just tangling with him, and that's going to be a free in for Offaly. This is where he was going away. There's Canis Brennan, and down he went, and Canis Brennan has his number taken. Free to Johnny Dooley. Just look at the spread of scores. He's got 6 points. Johnny Pilkington 1, Joe Dooley 1. Nothing else anywhere else. That's one more. So again, 3 goals the margin. Those 3 goals from the first half, and there's John Troy, made his debut against Kilkenny back in '92. Joe Erity driving it down. He was the full forward with these teams last met in the All-Ireland final. Scored a goal and 2 that day. John Powell. Nicely forward for Andy Comerford. Great block down by Ger Oakley. Comes back, by Claffey got the block down. This very formidable half-back line of Kilkenny excelling. Peter Barry dishing it inside there. Kevin Keenan lets it spill away from his stick. Hoyne was coming in. Dennis Byrne is there as well, and Dennis Byrne puts it over the bar. It's like one of those days, everything they touch is going over. They've got a winning look about them.
But somebody's going to have to mark Peter Barry. I mean, he's let just come out there at will, and he's dominated the first half.
Well, it should be Johnny Pilkington. It's his man.
Well, Johnny's got to do a job. He's just have freedom of the park at this stage.
That's a great catch by Andy Comerford. Still they delay Offaly in bringing in John Troy. On towards Henry Shefflin. Back there defending Kevin Martin. Hoyne going through. Referee following up with the play. Nicely taken up by Michael Dignan, the number 13 who's now playing at right half back. Johnny Pilkington trying to get the better there of Peter Barry, succeeding. Gary Hannafy sending it in towards Joe Dooley. Joe, nice little flick ahead. Brendan Murphy strikes and puts it over. An impressive point by Brendan Murphy from Ballyskinner in County Offaly.
That's his first score today, and in all of the other games he's been making a major contribution. So Brendan has been quiet by his standards this year so far.
Another switch in the backline for Offaly shows Niall Claffey. Third man that he's had to mark today is Dennis Byrne. He's come out to left half back in a switch with Kevin Martin. Martin now looks like he's on Henry Shefflin. Here's John Power. Lots of switches, lots of changes. Same old story, however. Kilkenny, the dominant team. Kevin Martin comes across here. Kevin Keenan. Little flick outside towards Ger Oakley. DJ Carey chases after him in vain. Peter Barry across there. Now Johnny Pilkington's got loose. Possibilities here for Offaly. Willie O'Connor putting in the challenge. He's the first man. Then it's Kennedy. Backs out towards Hannafy. And Hannafy strikes it over the bar. Couple of good scores in the last few minutes. But a lot for Offaly still to do. Johnny Pilkington did really well, picking out Gary Hannafy, and the man from Burr struck it over the bar.
This is a crucial time of this game now. If Offaly can get a goal here, this game could turn around, there's no question. Kilkenny haven't been getting scores now. John Troy has gone on. A goal for Offaly now would certainly turn this game back around again, no question.
So John Troy is going in, and I think it's going to be John Ryan who makes way. John Ryan off. John Troy in the action.
And he owes them a big game, Ger. John Troy owes Offaly a big game. Today's the day to go and do it.
Joe Erity, half blocked by Canis Brennan. That's enough. Once again, it's Peter Barry. Likes to raid, but instead it's John Hoyne, in fact. But I think what he did was he threw the ball up to himself.
Yeah. I mean, this is getting a little bit, for Kilkenny, they're worrying. There's a lot of fellas trying to play a lot of individual hurling now. And that's probably not so. There's a lot of men outside him that time.
3 touches of the ball in his hand that time, not allowed. Johnny Dooley dropped in. This is Peter Barry. Hand passed out to Eamon Kennedy, showing good composure. Out to Canis Brennan, the army man. It's a huge one down towards Henry Shefflin. Can they get another one here? Henry's in, and Henry has scored.
I was just about to say, Canis Brennan is the man that will give him quick and early ball. He delivers his first big ball back of the net. That's a great goal by Henry Shefflin. Never took his eye off it.
It could turn into a rout. This All-Leinster All-Ireland final. That was a huge ball by Canis Brennan. It was a beautiful delivery.
No hands, just bang.
Henry Shefflin was anticipating, and he got the better of the back and goalie and kicked it in. Here comes Ger Oakley. Good hand pass across here to Johnny Dooley. Lobbed in towards John Troy. McGarry fumbles, comes up with it the second time. He's got support outside there, Peter Barry. And a relieving clearance by the number 7. Johnny Dooley goes across, but it breaks to Canis Brennan instead. The substitute for Kilkenny. Now John Power, good shoulder, waiting for John Hoyne to arrive. John Power and Johnny Dooley and one or two others. It gets a bit hot and from an Offaly point of view frustrating.
I think John Power started that myself. I think he was a little bit wiry and decided he wanted to have a go, and he went off the ball, in fact. And in fairness, John Power is responsible for that incident in my view.
This is it again here.
See, if that's what's known as being up for it, I think that's the new modern terminology to use for that, Ger.
So John Power is about to get himself a yellow card. And Michael Dyglin as well. So Kilkenny with 3 yellow cards, Offaly with 2. Johnny Pilkington gets one back after 24 minutes of the second half. Let's see what happened.
A good catch by Johnny.
This was Johnny Dooley floating it in from the free. And watch for Johnny Pilkington coming in, great catch, trying to step away from trouble and kicking it in. A resourceful goal by the very experienced Offaly man. David Franks balancing it beautifully on the stick like a conjurer. Dropping it in. Again, Offaly look for something. Johnny Pilkington. Here comes John Troy. Are we to be in for a great finish yet? Gary Hanafy. Offaly showing their spirit. Pilkington playing it back to Johnny Dooley. Little dodge away from Eamon Kennedy. And he knocks it over the bar. He's got 8 points in this match. 3 goals between them. But don't switch off just yet.
Need a goal from Offaly now. Will be making a great finish.
Johnny Dooley, 8 scores from 15 shots.
They need to raise their spirit everywhere now, Offaly. Everybody's got to fight for everything.
That's beyond Derrity, but he's in battling against John Power. Power kicking it ahead towards Henry Shefflin. Missed inside by Kevin Martin. Shefflin once again. Very acute angle. That's a great ball out, but only as far as Johnny Dooley. Taken by Paddy Mulher towards Brian Wheelahan. Willie O'Connor trying to close down the space afforded to him. After him is Peter Barry as well. It's Brian Wheelahan, and he's put it over the bar. 4-12 to 1-13.
To be fair, Ger, over the years Offaly have been wonderful with the little resources they have. Some people have doubted them, but over the last 10 years has there been a better team than this Offaly team when they've had a full pick? And in fairness to Pat Fleury, he's had a difficult job patching this team up. And as I said, Hubert Rigney is a huge loss to that team.
Well, it's not Pat Fleury's fault. He's done his bit. But this afternoon they ran into a Kilkenny thunderbolt, quite honestly. Kilkenny were not to be denied at the third time of asking, and Philly Larkin has been so impressive. Likewise Peter Barry. In it goes, they look for a 5th goal. John Hoyne leaving it. John Power was after it as well. Now Eddie Brennan trying to get it out towards John Power in there. The match now, as you can see, in injury time. They come once more, and that's another lovely score. It's put over the bar. It's Eddie, is it DJ or Eddie Brennan?
DJ Carey.
DJ Carey, indeed.
But can I say as well, Ger, I think it's a fantastic Peter Barry, Andy Comerford, and these people have been tremendous servants to Kilkenny hurling. They've worked their butt off to try and win all their medal, and this is their first, and that shouldn't be forgotten. They've been magnificent hurlers as well.
It's going to be Kilkenny's first title in 7 years. Nicely taken by James McGarry. Broken down to Andy Comerford. Simon Wheelahan trying to deflect it away. Here comes Eddie Brennan. Here's another one. It's all over now.
I told you he was a wonderful player. He was unlucky not to be on this team.
I saw him in the National League destroying a Kilkenny or a Tipperary backline down in Thurles. Here he came through. Wonderful pace. And a finishing strike way into the corner, and Stephen Byrne is beaten for the 5th time.
That's a DJ special.
James McGarry saving this one, linking up with Willie O'Connor. Now it's up to the referee to see how much time is left before Kilkenny get their hands on the Liam McCarthy Cup. Charlie Carter striking. That's a beauty.
Full credit to Kilkenny. This is exhibition hurling, you know, and it's just like they got out of jail there. They're starting to do everything now. They're so fluent.
The fans will enjoy this. Brian Cody has done it. There is absolutely no doubt in the world. They looked winners at half-time, and now the referee just prolonging the agony for another couple of seconds, but it's agony for Offaly.
But Offaly won't begrudge this year to Kilkenny either. Be assured of that. I mean, Offaly people have had great success, and they won their All-Ireland 98. They won't begrudge this victory to Kilkenny at the end of it all.
This is stopped by Stephen Byrne. Peter Barry. Here comes Michael Dignan. The referee has played over 3 minutes of injury time. Johnny Pilkington. And it's Willie O'Connor who comes out minus the stick. Plenty of time to ask a colleague, Eamon Kennedy, to come and deliver it. Down the field. Joe Erity. Johnny Dooley dropped back in beyond Pilkington. Another chance, a late chance, and it's put over the bar. Over the bar by Paddy Mulher. His first point. A 13-point lead for Kilkenny. It's every bit as emphatic as many people had feared. The referee has played 4 minutes of injury time. Hard to understand why.
He's enjoying the exhibition.
There's a touch of the Leinster final second half about this. John Hoyne going through. Eddie Brennan. They try to keep him out. The referee's whistle goes, and Kilkenny have won the first hurling final of the new millennium. They've lost the last two. To Offaly in 98, to Cork in 99. But in 2000, they have won a most wonderful victory. Peter Barry dances around the place. The Liam McCarthy Cup is going back to the Marble City. Andy Comerford played his part in midfield. He fed ball after ball in to a most wonderful inside forward line, and they were equal to it. They scored 5 goals in all. 5 goals and 15 points to Offaly's 1 goal and 14. This is a new touch. This is where the losers in the All-Ireland final will get their medals here today. And then in a little while, Willie O'Connor will come up and receive the Liam McCarthy Cup.
As captain for Carey, of runner our captain Willie O'Connor.
There's only one winner. It's a day for winners. Willie O'Connor takes the Liam McCarthy Cup. Sean McCaig making the presentation, and it's Kilkenny who are the champions once again. Champions now for the 26th time. Well, they're going to do their lap of honour. This is something we wouldn't have seen in the old days. It gives an awful lot of the fans, in fairness, a chance to witness the captain and the team going around the field. Everybody sharing in the delight. The end of the championship season. It's the end of hurling for this year at this level, and Kilkenny are the champions.
Excellent stuff, lads. Full forward line or little. Prove it today. Brilliant. DJ Carey, Henry Shefflin. Brilliant stuff. Fair use to him.
Mighty stuff. Our full back line was not the race with a hints off goals, and we're never going to come back into the game. Too big of a hill to climb.
Brilliant. We're delighted.
Couldn't be better. We deserved it, sure. We were trying 3 years now, and they're super cats. They were brilliant.
The Liam McCarthy Cup claimed this afternoon by Willie O'Connor, an honour, of course, that his brother had claimed before him as a previous Kilkenny captain. And tonight, the Liam McCarthy Cup has made the short journey across Dublin to the City West Hotel in Saggart, where it will take a short rest tonight before making the longer journey tomorrow afternoon. We'll be with Liam and his newfound friends in Kilkenny in a little while. But first, though, let's see how they're taking this defeat in Offaly. Well, they've enjoyed some great successes in the past, of course, but tonight is a different story. Paul Burns has been getting some reaction from their function down in Jury's Hotel.
Johnny, a disappointing day for Offaly.
It was, yeah. It was, Kilkenny got off to a great start. I think after 8 or 9 minutes, they were 8 or 9 points up. So, we were chasing the game from the very start. And, fair dues to Kilkenny. The pressure was on them today and they responded to it. And, as I said, the early goals really killed us off.
Naturally, it's more disappointing for you being Offaly captain all today.
It is. It's difficult and it's hard to take, But as I said, full credit to Kilkenny. There's no sour grapes on our behalf, the best team won on the day, we accept that, and we may go home and lick our wounds,
What did Pat Fleury say to the lads in the dressing room afterwards?
He thanked everybody for the effort that we put in. The panel has been together since shortly after Christmas, and it's been a long year, and everybody is very, very disappointed. And I think we feel we probably didn't do ourselves justice today, but that's not taken from Kilkenny's win. They're deserving winners, and as I said, but we're very disappointed.
Kilkenny were devastating. They came that they weren't going to lose 3 in a row. They came that way, and from the time the ball was thrown in, they came at us big time, And any time we went back down and got a score, they were capable of going back down the other end and matching us with scores, and then they got the goals. I think the goals broke our hearts today, in fairness, Like that number of goals in All-Ireland final, I don't know when it happened before, and it's just unfortunately for us, we're on the receiving end.
We've no qualms. I just can't say enough about Kilkenny. They were very consistent this year. They played some great hurling, and I think they're absolutely deserving All-Ireland winners. They blew everybody out of the water, and any teams that are out there, or any counties that are out there, they think they could have bet Kilkenny. No, they wouldn't have come across them, they wouldn't have bet them.
Well, we're now for Offaly. There's still a lot of hurling left in Offaly, isn't there?
There is, yeah. We won the minor and the under 21 this year, and there's a lot of hurling left in the Offaly senior team, and we're up there. There's a lot of talk maybe about the expected decline of Offaly, but I don't think that will happen. Hurling is part of life in Offaly, and Offaly is going to stay up there.
We'll go back to the drawing board again, and next year's a new year, and as I said, we won't be thinking of that tonight. Tonight's a disappointing night for Offaly people and for Offaly supporters, and on that note, I'd like to thank all Offaly people for coming up and supporting us today, and I'm sure they're very disappointed tonight.
So that's the picture from a bitterly disappointed Offaly camp. Very hard to console a beaten finalist. Well, after the break, we'll be hearing the views of Cyril Farrell and Liam Griffin, and we'll also be checking into the Kilkenny team hotel as they toast a famous victory.
The more fossil fuels we burn to generate electricity, the greater our greenhouse gas emissions. So fitting a lagging jacket saves on heat and vital natural resources, which is good for your pocket and your planet. To find out how you can make a world of difference, contact the Irish Energy Centre.
Smithwick's. Questa birra è molto buona. Vedi come la schiuma resta fino al fondo del bicchiere? È quello che si chiama lacing. Eccezionale, eh?
Italians?
Yes. I'm Giovanni. And this is my friend, Giorgio.
I'm Ray Houghton. And this is my friend, Dave O'Leary.
Sorry, I forget to introduce my other friend. Totò Schillaci. Chi sono questi?
Good goal.
Thank you very much.
In our different ways, we all have a talent for communication.
spend it with you. Say your love is my love and my love is your love. It would take an eternity to break us.
Aircom makes it possible to go further with our talent for communication. How far will you go? Aircom. Go further.
This is dandruff. Take a close look, because this could be the last time you see it if you start using this. Nicerol Dandruff Shampoo is a treatment that's different from others you've bought before. It's specifically formulated to actually kill the yeast, which scientists now know can be a leading cause of dandruff. And it's effective, so you'll only use it once a week. Nicerol Dandruff Shampoo could be dandruff's last call.
Take an autumn break at Kilkenny Racing Festival, October 12th, 13th, 14th at picturesque Gorham Park. Then enjoy the atmosphere of Kilkenny's superb pubs and hotels.
I want you to organise that van, or I'll have both your legs broken. Trouble at work.
Straight to video this Wednesday on Network 2.
You're welcome back again. The man of the match has yet to be named from this year's All-Ireland Hurling final. Who will that be? Well, the panel will be announcing the decision presently. And mention of the panel, joining me in studio tonight, we have Cyril, Farrell and Liam Griffin. I suppose everybody, including the Offaly player, Cyril, are praising Kilkenny on that performance today, and it's easy to see why.
Yeah, the best team in Ireland by a mile. They'll be delighted, I suppose, after the match, to be relieved to think to have this one, you know, to go for 3 in a row defeats, which is a terrible hard thing to take. There was no doubt about it today. They got the perfect start. Early on, after 10 or 12 minutes, they were 2-4 to 2 points up. All over the pitch, they were on top. I thought their half backline played brilliant. Full backline played very cagey. McGarry was brilliant in goals. Comfort had a fantastic game. Dennis Byrne popped his few points. Power and Hind worked hard. Hind is probably the new Power in the future. And inside, the trio inside, you know, these guys are lethal. And like, once they got on top, got the ball in, it was a very simple policy. Get the ball in, the 3 boys, Charlie, DJ, Henry, they'll do the job, and they did.
There was a kind of fear, Liam, that some people had that because of this 3 All-Irelands in a row losing sequence that they might be facing, that this might stifle Kilkenny. If anything, it was the opposite that happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody in Kilkenny, I know, was very tense about this match. They were really worried, and rightly so, because 3 in a row loss would be major for them. But they threw off the shackles early, and to be fair, they got an excellent start, and the excellent start settled them down. And after that, I mean, they were unstoppable. Let's be fair, they were unstoppable. And Offaly are a great side over the last 10 years, and, you know, full credit to them, but they were unstoppable today. OK, Cyril Farrell, let's try and clear up one talking point out of today's game. This is the goal between Shefflin and DJ. Who got it is the question.
It doesn't matter who got it when it counts. You know, here you see, well, you're going to see Henry Shefflin here in his own. He's coming right in, and again, a Kilkenny forward goes for the goal. A great save by Stephen Byrne. Now, whether Claffey blocks or not, DJ comes in and makes sure. Now, here you're going to see the ball has to cross the line fully. Now, all of the ball? All of the ball. Comes across here. To my eyes, it didn't cross fully. So when it was actually kicked out by Claffey, DJ met it on the way in. Now, DJ at the interview after the match said like he was given to Henry Shefflin. But in actual fact, if DJ didn't tip it in, it may not have been counted. But young Hine gave a great hand pass. Simon Whelan must have been ball watching. He was way off the man. Yeah. And again, Henry being a Kilkenny forward, he went for the juggler. He went for the goal. Great save by Byrne, and he was DJ coming in. That really set up. They were in the driving seat from there on.
DJ's goal for you, Liam?
Well, I think people would say, I'd say it was DJ's goal no matter what happened. That'd be a bit unfair to poor Henry Shefflin, but I think it was DJ's goal because it didn't cross the line. And we all know DJ is very modest, and he always likes to supply. That's the one great difference between DJ Carey over all of the great forwards in the past. He has been totally unselfish, and he manifested again today. But I think it was DJ's goal. Yes.
Yeah. Well, this is the point about the whole forward line, because he was involved in some of the other goals as well. Obviously, I mean, between them, what was it? 4 goals and 10 points.
Well, actually, if you take Eddie Brennan's contribution, it was 5-10, and 5-10 had win 2 All-Irelands in a row. You know, I mean, it was an incredible score from an inside forward line, lethal, and it was tough on the Offaly full back line. I mean, who would have stopped him today?
Yeah. They were absolutely brilliant. We're looking at some of the stuff here, and again, as I said, the contribution of the 3 of them, not just in getting the scores, but working for each other as well.
Henry Shefflin, for me too, had a magnificent game as well, and so did Charlie Carter, who's been a great servant of Kilkenny. But Henry Shefflin, young player, he had a magnificent game, and that was a great goal from him, and he caught a good high ball and buried it in the back of the net. Canis Brennan's delivery, of course, made that goal.
Yeah, that was a super goal. There's DJ's, the first goal of the match, and the typical classic DJ score.
2 of them off his left hand today. Right hand the last day, left hand.
And points as well.
Yes. And the point he got off his back.
Okay, well that was the forwards. That was the full forward line in full flight. But Cyril Farrell, obviously, in a win, it can't be about just 3 forwards. There were other impressive performances around the field.
The backs are very good, and this Peter Barry really is impressing me. He doesn't get much praise, but he's always under the high ball, very good reading the game, great in the air, but like a great man to read it. And then he winds up a lot of the time on his own. Here again, you see him here now, he's forcing his way up midfield. I'd say he's thinking of a score for himself, goes past, and now he doesn't know whether he's going to hand pass to it, but at the same time, he's driving forward. Again, he's here in the right spot, gets bottled up, going to give a hand pass out again. You know, he's always around the breaks. Kit dog hurler, a lot of Kilkenny ones, somebody like Frank Cummins gets in the way. Now, he was one of the half-back then today, himself and Kennedy and Larkin. They really had great games and they mopped up everything, gave a great supply up with Comerford. They were the engine of the team, really, whereas they may not get the credit like the forwards do.
Philly Larkin, again today, following in a great family tradition, Liam. And as well as that, a player that a lot of people are looking to in an All-Ireland final and asking for a performance.
Yeah, and a lot of pressure with Philly Larkin today. Don't forget, I mean, I know there'll be nobody more delighted than fan to father, you know, they're a fantastic family. But Brian Cody took a major gamble in playing him, if you like, in his selectors, because a lot of people would have queried it if he hadn't played well. But it's about character, this game of hurling. It's about steel and resolve. And I mean, Philly had 2 bad games by his own standards the last 2 games. But I think he suffered from coming out from cornerback for a while to adjust. He was magnificent today, and if you look at him there carrying the ball, he foraged for everything. He was absolutely, it was an awesome display from him. Hand pass here, good ball back out to Peter Barry. The entire half-back line, and Eamon Kennedy too was fantastic today, let's be fair. So, you know, I'm delighted for Philly Larkin. It was a marvellous contribution.
We must have a word, Cyril, obviously, about Offaly. I mean, it'll always happen with Offaly. You start asking questions and they lose a match. Where do they all go from here? But they seem to be determined enough that they will be back. Yeah,
well, like the minors and the under-21s have both won Leinster titles this year, which is good. And I was very impressed with the minors that there are 5 or 6 very good calibre hurlers. Under-21s are kind of blown over by Galway. It can happen on a given day. But they will make use of them, Michael, because they'll have to. This team has given a lot. It can't go on forever. It has carried on the tradition of Offaly hurling. And like, they're a great county. I admire them because they have so little to pick from. Now, OK, they'll be very disappointed. But they will be the first to admit that on today's performance, there was only one team, that was Kilkenny. There's no ifs or buts about it. Like, it's one of the few All-Irelands that you could say, sit back and say, there's no really debate about it. The best team won on the day. Kilkenny, like, you know, there's no dishonour in defeat. They have to take it, or Offaly, and they have to go home and accept it.
For the moment, Liam, until we see some sort of a resurgence, maybe from Wexford again, or maybe 1 or 2 of the others. I mean, Offaly are the other big power in Leinster hurling.
Yeah, they are. Well, we'll be back. Wexford will be back too. You can rest assured of that. But Offaly, I have to say, I think Offaly have been the best team in Ireland over the last 10 years. I mean, their record stands, and they've played some wonderful hurling. And you have to bear in mind the pick they have. And as Cyril says, like, it's a small pick, but they have produced some of the most elegant hurlers the last 10 years. And for my money, it's sad they lost, but there's no shame in that. Their contribution to hurling has been enormous.
Yeah, but Kilkenny, as we were saying there, I mean, OK, they've lost the last 2 All-Ireland finals, but they've basically dominated in any other way, sir, the championship over the last 3 years.
Yeah, well, you see, they were OK. Offaly beat them 2 years ago, and that was a repeat of the Leinster final again. Offaly on a day can do anything as such. Last year, I felt we were very unlucky to lose last year. I really feel deep down Kilkenny believe themselves that they should have won. Now, they couldn't say anything. Once you're beaten, you have to accept it. This year, they did pre-season training that they never did before. Yeah. Don't mind what they were saying. They were saying we did this and that. They did 3 nights a week in the gym in January. They went up a famous hill out in Bennett's Bridge in the January, up in February. Kilkenny hurlers never had to do that. They'd only amble in a few weeks before a championship game. So like, there was a treble up put in this year, and it was worth it in the end.
It was, and also we have to take into account that they have the last 3 Leinster titles, Liam Griffin. Can they win more is the question. Not what they lost in the last 2 years, but can they win more from here?
No, absolutely they can win more. But the great thing is, you have to remember Brian Cody and his team. They've done a magnificent job. They've blown everybody out of the water in 2 years, except for last year's All-Ireland final. That's the only blot in their copybook. But I'm delighted, particularly, to say, if you're a hurling man, and I'm a hurling man, for the likes of Andy Comerford and Peter Barry, they didn't win an All-Ireland medal until the day, and they have put in tremendous effort to try and drive Kilkenny forward and prove it on the field. But I mean, Kilkenny are going to be always there. One of the finest hurling counties in Ireland. They are always going to be there.
Well, there's no doubt about it. They certainly are the finest for this year anyway. Now, before we leave today's game, there are a few other statistics that you might be interested in. Offaly's Johnny Dooley finished this year as the top scorer with a huge 41 points. Tomas McGrain of Dublin, in actual fact, was second with 133. David Cuddy of Laois was third, 129. And Kilkenny's own Henry Shefflin fourth with a goal and 22 points. That's not including the one that we're giving to DJ tonight. He was also Kilkenny's top scorer. Charlie Charlie Carter was there as well from play, 5 goals and 11 points in this year's championship. Sheffield got 25 points in the championship this year. DJ actually got 22. Now today's game was also, by the way, the highest scoring final since the meeting of Cork and Galway in the 1990 final, when Cork scored 515 in that match too. OK, so plenty of figures for you to chew over there. Well, in Kilkenny, however, there's only one figure that they're interested in, and that's the 5 goals and 15 points that they scored to win today's game. Reaction from Kilkenny with Michael O'Donnell in a moment. But firstly, Finian Ward got the views from the Offaly supporters who stayed at home today.
The streets of Birr were deserted this afternoon as Kilkenny and Offaly took to the field in Croke Park. It seems that every man, woman and child who couldn't get to Croke Park stayed indoors to watch the match and cheer Offaly on. Here at Pilkington's Bar in High Street, they cheered their team on all the way, even when it looked like a lost cause.
Basically, that Kilkenny were far superior, they were far more hungrier. They've waited 3 years for this. Offaly had the bite and just didn't perform today. But there's one most important thing that we have to say to the 24 that went up there today. We are very, very proud of them today. Yes, yes. Very proud of them.
I don't think they were poor, just that Kilkenny were better. Having said that, they're our faithful county and we'll be there tomorrow night to cheer them on. We're the best.
I think the lads played very well, really. If they could have played a bit better in the first half, we'd have managed them all right. We'd have gave the hungry lads something to talk about.
We would have killed the cat.
We'd have killed them.
Kilkenny's victory today after 2 years of All-Ireland final disappointment is being celebrated throughout the length and breadth of the county. The relief after what was ultimately a one-sided final against Offaly has been replaced by sheer joy on the streets of the Marble City. Gone is the record 3-in-a-row losses that no one wanted. Instead, the conversation has focused on as fine a Kilkenny team performance as in any of the previous 25 victories.
I have never ever seen a scoreline like it today. 5 goals for one All-Ireland winning team. Unbelievable. DJ Carey, a legend. Shefflin, a legend. Carter, unbelievable. The full forward line, the half back line, cleaned up today. I have never seen a game like it in all my life. They are absolutely brilliant.
What's a Dublin person doing wearing a Kilkenny jersey?
Oh, well, I live here and work here, so we're just getting involved in all the activities and celebrations, so absolutely fantastic.
We're from Pembrokeshire in South Wales. We're here now to watch the All-Ireland hurling competition, and we're supporting Kilkenny because we come here regularly.
So now at this stage, let's take ourselves across to the City West Hotel in Saggart, which tonight hosts the Kilkenny Victory Banquet. Let's see how things are going there with Marty Morrissey and Jim Carney.
Good evening indeed, and welcome to the real home of hurling amongst all these wonderful Kilkenny people. We're here at the City West Hotel and Conference Centre, a magnificent place with accommodation for up to 3,000 people. It seems like 3,000 people here, and we're here in Saggart tonight amid wild celebrations. 2 people directly involved in, of course, today's All-Ireland hurling final. Brian Cody, the manager, and Willie O'Connor, the winning captain. Brian Cody, relief, I'm sure, would describe adequately your feelings at this stage.
Marty, we are relieved, obviously. You know, there was a lot of pressure on us today to get out and perform and to bring home the McCarthy Cup to Kilkenny. A lot has been made of the last 2 years and losing the 2 All-Ireland finals. But we didn't look upon that in a negative way at all. We realised that to get to 2 All-Ireland finals in a row simply proves that we are a very good team. Now, obviously, it was going to take a huge effort to come back again this year, even to get there. And to go ahead and win it was something pretty exceptional, really, I would say, to do. But certainly, we're all relieved, but we're all thrilled, and everybody here is just delighted.
You were, as they say, very much up for this, very focused, despite all the media hype about possibly going for 3 All-Ireland defeats in a row.
Focus was probably something I haven't come across before with the team. Not just today and not just last week, but going right back several months, really. Once the championship thing started off, the players, obviously deep from within themselves, had made an absolute commitment to each other that they would leave no stone unturned to go ahead and go the whole way this year. And you know, some of the training sessions, when I look back on the year and tonight and all the rest of it, some of the memories I would have from some of the training sessions that we had in Nolan Park, the intensity of the training, the way the players went about it, the way they dragged each other along and pushed each other along without any cajoling or anything else from anybody else. It was a focus and a spirit and a commitment there that I'm just very privileged and happy to be associated with.
There's a great sense of camaraderie amongst this Kilkenny team. One man that I'm delighted to see here tonight is PJ Delaney. I met his father last night in Johnstown. And we welcome him here to the City West Hotel.
PJ Delaney shared in the disappointments of the last 2 years with all of his teammates here. And, you know, there was a clip of PJ there scoring a goal back in '93 for Kilkenny in All-Ireland final. You know, he was just in the prime of his hurling career when he had that awful, unfortunate incident happen to him. And certainly, you know, you see it from the reaction there from all Kilkenny people that everyone is thrilled to see PJ here with us tonight.
Indeed. The leader on the field. As they say down in Kilkenny, you're some man for one man, Willie O'Connor. A great day for you, Willie.
Oh yeah, it's a lovely day for Kilkenny. I suppose my club, family. It's a lovely day for everyone when you win.
I heard a rumour that the greatest pressure you were suffering from was from big brother Eddie, having captained Kilkenny to an All-Ireland already.
I know someone telling you lies, Marty.
Just describe that final whistle, that moment when Kilkenny had their hands on the Lee McCarthy Cup.
That's an unbelievable feeling, Marty. Especially when you were after feeling the other feeling for the last 2 years. It prepares you for the winning feel.
You look like a man that's ready to celebrate big time for the next week, I'd say, Willie.
Hopefully, Marty. I hope the party starts here on it.
Well, congratulations to you, Willie O'Connor, and to Brian Cody, captain and manager of the new All-Ireland champions.
What a labour of love it is for us to be working here tonight in the company of Brian Cody and Willie O'Connor and two of the great forwards in the game, Charlie Carter and John Power. John, how good was this today? Just how good was it?
This was great, Jim. Any day that you bring back home the Lee McCarthy shirt, that's what everyone dreams of, and we accomplished that today. And I suppose we started at the start of the season, that was going to be the bottom line, and I think everyone rode in 28, and we brought in a few fellas there to make 30 there in the training. And I suppose Dermot Grogan said the other night, if we stayed loyal to one another, that we'd win All Ireland, and I suppose that's the type of spirit that brought it home tonight.
And of course, farmers have to go back to work, John. There was a story about you during the week that you had the finest crop of spring wheat in Callan, or even in Kilkenny.
Well, sure, the poor old farmers have to work every day, but sure, what can we do? You might throw me a few bob on the side going out tonight, maybe, but yeah. No, sure, it's just a brilliant day for Kilkenny, and personally there, for my own family there, and everyone involved around Callan and Kilbricken and Hirat there. I'm a very proud man tonight, and suffered big hardship there last year. It was a heartbreak, and I suppose it brought everyone together there, and Brian promised there on the parade last year that to be no stone left unturned, and we have all the stones turned over tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Power. As everybody knows in the game, great hurling and great humanity in John Power. Charlie Carter, you know what the phrase walk the land means too.
Oh yeah, and like John, I do a bit of farming as well, and I say I won't see much of the next few days, but sure, as ever, we'll get back to it sometime.
It'll be there when you get back.
Hopefully, the father look after us.
Charlie, this world famous full forward line. Tell me a little bit about the other two.
Sure, one is big and the other is small, and I'm smaller. No, so you have DJ beside you, and so DJ's DJ, like, they can go back and look at that Millennium team again, because the next time they be picking it, he'll be there.
Hear, hear. Not that long, Charlie, since you walked to school through the field together.
Oh, I don't know if we walked through the fields, but yeah, it's going back to Gordon, to national school there myself. DJ and Pal Neil were in the one class. Went from there to Kieran's, and I suppose we have good times since. And hopefully they'll roll on.
Yeah, well done, Charlie Carter. Great day for you, great year.
Probably the hardest position to play in an All-Ireland final, because you've got to keep your concentration all the time, is the goalkeeper. And joining me is James McGarry. And when the test arrived in Croke Park today, you passed with honours.
Well, I think it was easy to pass with honours today, Marty, when you have the forwards up the other end scoring freely, and the backs played quite well as well, so happy enough.
I must ask you about training, because when you have to face DJ, Charlie, John Power, Henry Shefflin, I'd say you're fairly active.
Well, not alone do you have to face them, Marty. When you let in one, you have to face Willie as well, so... Willie has been a tremendous help since I came on this panel, and I owe everything today to Willie O'Connor.
Well done indeed. Does that mean Willie gives out to you occasionally?
Not time. I'll bring the old earmuffs and not time there.
Certainly a man I know that played a role in the background is a clubmate of yours, Noel Skehan, and indeed to see him there and see him and you now a Bennettsbridge man between the posts on an All-Ireland winning team must be special for that club.
Well, it's a great honour for me being from Bennettsbridge, because Liam Clear in 1957 won one as a sub-goalkeeper to the late great Ollie, and Noel Skehan was there and he won 9, which is a record that will never be surpassed, and Noel Skehan was a tremendous help to me down the years, and I'd like to thank him as well.
Well done, James McGarry. Moving on to a man beside you, Ger Henderson. I heard from your daughter last night that you're not grumpy the night before. You look very happy tonight.
You should have seen me last night. She wasn't telling the truth. I'm delighted. Words can't describe how I feel. They're the best bunch of lads I have ever been around since my playing days, and they totally deserved what they got today,
I'm sure Offaly indeed have congratulated you as well. But there was great sympathy for Kilkenny, because you didn't deserve to have the title of losing 3 All-Irelands in a row.
Well, I knew when I got on the train with the boys there, we weren't going to lose. They were totally focused. They'd been totally focused in training, and we were on a mission today, and we fulfilled our dreams.
You did indeed. James McGarry, Ger Henderson, thank you very much indeed.
From 2 brilliant forwards to 2 superb, pacey defenders, Michael Kavanagh and Philip Larkin. Michael, you've had plenty of medals at underage level, but Michael, this is the one you wanted.
Well, I don't know about plenty. I've only got to one underage, under 21.
But you have quite a Leinster on minors, haven't you?
I have a couple of Leinsters, but one is not plenty All-Irelands in Kilkenny, Yeah. But I was happy today to get my first senior. It's 3 years in the trot for those now. We've suffered the last 2 years, and it's great to come out today and win the senior.
Wing back or cornerback, you don't mind?
I sure don't mind. Be happy to be playing on the team, with players like DJ Carey, John Power and Willie O'Connor, you'd be privileged to play alongside anywhere. You play anywhere, you play in goal if you're put in there.
I don't think James would let you. Michael, not all the family can be here tonight because there's business to be attended to. Tell us about that at home.
There's a few at my home there running the pub, but I'm sure there's a great crowd there tonight, and we'll venture down there near the end of the week, but someone has to run the pub at home,
Yeah, well, we'd say hello to them all, and Kavanagh's are fresh for tonight, yeah. Michael Kavanagh, Philip Larkin, this was some day for you.
It was a great day to have everyone down the end there. Good day. Yeah.
There was some talk about pressure, Phil, but you didn't feel it.
I know there's pressure going out on the day, there's pressure. It's All-Ireland final day, but you just deal with it, and as soon as the match starts, usually the pressure goes, things go right.
And of course, what's very special, not everybody around the country might know this, Philip, but this is the 3rd generation of the family to win All-Ireland medals. Just go through the tally for us.
Yeah, well, the grandfather has 4, Paddy, the father sitting over there has 5, and sure, I have 1 now anyway, so I'm happy.
Michael Kavanagh and Philly Larkin.
Yes, a very happy day here indeed for Kilkenny. The All-Ireland Hurling Final is a very special day. It's not alone viewed in Ireland, but indeed in Britain, United States of America, Australia and Europe. What was the reaction today, around the world, to today's All-Ireland Senior Hurling Final?
For those who gathered at Waxy O'Connor's pub in London's Theatreland, few could have believed the drama that was about to unfold.
For Henry Shefflin. Berrigan goal again! Stopped on the line, and it's in!
2 goals up within minutes, the Cats wouldn't have made it up, even in their wildest dreams. As the game settled, it became clear it was all one-way traffic. Absorbing as it was for the neutral, it was 70 minutes of pure agony for Offaly fans. But when the final whistle blew, the winners were delirious, the losers somewhat philosophical.
I'm very proud of Offaly. I think the spirit in Offaly and always has been there, and they showed it again today against the odds. And I thought to try and come back from 2 goals was hard, then 3, and eventually 5 goals. We got 1 back, but I still am proud of Offaly, proud to be from Offaly, and we'll be there again. It doesn't matter if it's back door or front door, we'll still be there again.
First game I've seen ever. Yeah, and it was really good. Come on, Kilkenny, go the cat!
A lot of the lads didn't play as well as I thought they did. I think they looked nervous, especially in the first half and that, but sure, that's the way it goes, and we'll come again. You'd never know.
Absolutely delighted. We deserve it after all this time. Just proves that the backdoor system doesn't work, and Kilkenny are the winners. They should have been all the time.
It's not the first time Cats have been a runaway success here in the West End, but the game itself does give Irish people a great opportunity to meet up and enjoy themselves on a Sunday afternoon. One thinks there's a long night ahead.
Well, we said earlier the truck drivers were going to block up central Brussels, and they have done that. The whole city has been brought to a standstill. But we also said it wasn't going to stop the Irish from having a good time on All-Ireland final day, and it didn't.
We live here in Belgium. We're all from Kilkenny, as you can imagine, and I'd like to say hello to Mother at home, and we're thinking about all the family. Great day for Kilkenny. Well, hey!
We deserved every minute of it.
Oh, it was great, but Kilkenny deserves it. They really deserve it. They lost already 2 times, but this time they won.
And Offaly were beaten in the Leinster final. They've been beaten again today. I'm delighted.
Kilkenny lads are just proud. We knew them the whole way along. We knew well they'd win. Woohoo! Go on the Judy brothers!
I was here last year watching the match in Cork. Cork won on a very bad day. I was in Croke Park the day before the All-Ireland before, and unfortunately we lost there. But I'm very happy to be watching it here in the Wild Geese in Brussels, and Kilkenny won. Bravo!
But it wasn't as easy as the score. It was miles away from the score. Great inside forward line and a marvellous left half forward. Dennis Byrne, best player on the pitch.
I thought it was very one-sided actually. It was like Kilkenny were like all over Offaly, really like.
So that's it from Brussels. Tutsins, au revoir.
The reaction of the Kilkenny supporters celebrating the success. What's so unusual about that? Well, the fact that we're here in Sydney, 12,000 miles away, makes it a little unique. This town is getting ready for the Olympic Games, but for the Irish here at the Aussie Rules Club in King's Cross, the hurling final is the event.
And as you can see, everybody here is just gone mad. Go on, the Super Cats!
It's the break of the ball, it's the way the things go, you know, and we were lucky today, but I think we deserved a bit of luck because, in fairness, that's an unbelievable hardship the last 2 years. Like, so just to win, I suppose, is relief more so than anything else. Just to actually have under our belts, and it's all over it now. It was probably low key enough. I was talking to home today, and they said it was just there's hardly any flags up at Kilkenny's team. But by God, you see enough from up tonight.
I was sitting down with a guy today, and we're homesick. We checked on the internet, we read the newspapers, talked about leaving home. But today, I'll always remember this All-Ireland in Australia.
It's the best! I wish I was at home, but I couldn't be at home. So this is for all at home. I am so happy. The Cats from Glenmore, so happy!
For the Irish in Sydney, the next big event is the football final in 2 weeks' time. For Kilkenny, it's gold from the Olympic City. From Sydney, bye for now.
Yeah, hard to believe all that is taking place down in Sydney. Looks like Johnstown, doesn't it? The only difference is, obviously, there's a lot of Fosters and 4X gone down there. All right, we're going to be back again for more from the Kilkenny banquet a little bit later on. But for the moment, let's turn our attention to the minor final between Galway and Cork. Now, Galway were looking for their second title in a row. Highlights now with Michael Lyster.
Agus Shane Kavanagh, Gnaliv, Shane, Bólan Clitter Isteach Joe, Peter Garvey, Fachtig Mahag Paul Tierney, Anach Wallig Paul, agus Anna Irach, Brutistach Gagani Satanta, Anna Yeshika Satanta, Vaisha Cole, it's an Amshig Glote, Anna Hold the Hurtig, Anna Wall, Kashi Shades Kiranola Edirde, Agus a Matlish Isteach, Hannah Happig Fad, Agus is Bug Dish Hookshe the Eden Divini, Marshan Anna Hold the Hurtig, Gana to the phone in Ishachan, Queen Devoyne, Damien Hayes. Shohe Damien. Well, Shindian Tana, Yasaga Damien, the Stakadi, Barry, Goody, Jerry Farrell. Jerry, Lenakatoig, Agus, Anna Erachto, Jerry Farrell. Well, Shedikeen, the Pointy, I'm Shahiga, Jerry, Hannah Hainig. Agus, Kieran Murphy. Will to get Kieran, will to go Mahaga. Goody, Lena Cook, Vedragas Tahad. Had a Kadishtuga, Adrian Divini, Mahajol or Portke. After Howell and so Gary McLaughlin. Will to Stacha Joe the Carnoigi. Agus, Dishiga, Tomas O'Leary. Will to Stacha Agus Cole in a shin. Anna Cole again, Cork Biggetson. Sha, Tomas O'Leary. Agus for the Arshood, Hochol, Agus Hocholin and Edic Shaftow. Schnenson Richte. Agus, Ganai for the fence Berlish. Berto Hortige Plies, Ganai Hele. Agus the Stachan Lean Town. Counter, Will to Machatsa. Eden Divini. In the Welleran Boyd, Agus Macht Leschetson, Trevor Kavanagh, Stachajo, Emil the Carnoige, Anna Reinscherach, Agus Raisha Cole, David Green, Agus Cole, David Green, David Green, Agus An Chorach de Hen, Agus Colm O'Sullivan, An Vartintige David, Agus Anish, Schnink Richardson, Trevor Kavanagh, and Stitten Bultige Horde, the Stachajo, Emil the Carnoige, Toshelle Hammer, Agus Bachtastige David Green, Emil Boyde, Agus near him intensive Kieran Murphy. Marshin, is she had a Gailiv, a Hochantusig, a Glahama, a Hena Day, a Gailiv, Go Kuig, a Corpig, Brian Carey, here a counts on the wall of market, Joe Graham Callan, Bachtagamahaga, Graham Callan, Van Lloyded, oh, gee, Shur Kurohaga, Agus Bulte, Gamahaga, Bachtag, Kurtigish, Posoleri, Mosamachta, on Raisha Kola, Bulte Sonigas, oh, let's Sonaga, Kieran Murphy. Emmer was O'Leary at Lahariga pass at Kieran Murphy at Reifnig or Cole. David Cashman at the other counts of the stop. Went to Rohiga, Barry Kine, Sorhiga, Mark O'Connor, Dishiga Mark, Cowan Moore, Fadaga Mark, a Joe Emil the Carnoige, Shahab, Romahanega, Pukedike, Megown, Polish the Carnoige, Derrimal Toid, Dinta, Edigo Fear. Och, no, but here, Kalanakin, Eamon Collins. Valley Rovers, Shohe Eamon, Sture sticks the hole again. Island. The third of Hamon again, Eamon, but the he's a son again, Madu, the son, Eden Divini, put the stick again, Kieran Murphy, I guess, Hole, I'm Shohe, and Sohega, the Hortig. Shohe Brian O'Mahony, Clack the Martin Island, Brian Nagazana Rohar Dentiga. Factory Void and Maclesh, the end of Berlin, Food Vegas, the Hadagas, the Will College, the end to get Paul Tierney, Hilidal Moltoid, Paul Shahed Jerry Farrell, Yerach Lahara Hopach, Agus British Deshelige Jerry, here in the Yoganeer, Jerry Farrell, attack the Machan, Shri, end of the Hain, Will to get Joe the Carnoy, get down again, is David Green, David Green, get a close goal, David Green, Shad David, Dagas Cool and a Pachtaga, and Farrell with a cool deed of Riblahama. Will to Mahaga Brian Godaskady, Adrian Cullinan, Shohe Adrian, Anna Luasown, Anna Yara, Anna Inu, Agus, Brent Dagas, Latvaraga, Fan Galev, Rocky, Japan Pusik, Adrian Cullinan. On Corran of Runatson again, Ordasburg, Richard Murray, Captain the Gali, on Corran Scale Aiden, to Kohilishigad, and Harna Blaine as a Kale.
Another underage title in the bag for Galway, and I'm sure they'll be hoping to add to that next Sunday in the All-Ireland Under-21 final match that you can see live here on the Sunday game. But the next thing that you're going to see live here on the Sunday game tonight is the choice of man of the match. The winner receives our specially commissioned Waterford Crystal Trophy and his and her watches. And the winner is Cyril Farrell.
Well, they may talk of great horrors of the past, but for me, the present day Cullen has to be DJ Carey. He's out of this world, and the one thing about him, he's able to accept the hero status. He has the highs and the lows, back and high again. Fantastic display.
Liam Griffin, you would agree with that, I have no doubt.
No, absolutely, I'd agree with that. I said before he was as good as Christy Ring, and I stand over that. I think he's one of the all-time greats, and I'm absolutely delighted for DJ Carey tonight. And he answered his critics fairly resoundingly.
DJ Carey, our man of the match. Let's go back down to City West.
Congratulations, DJ.
Thanks very much.
Well done indeed. Well, just come in a small bit here, DJ, because to do it officially, this Man of the Match presentation, I'd like to welcome Mark Lee, the sponsorship manager from Guinness Ireland, with a special prize which you can open and see later. We won't reveal now, but also, can I also present you officially with this magnificent vase. We can put it down, but it's RTE Sport Man of the Match 2000. A rather unique achievement. And just in case, DJ, you're late for training, watch, and for herself, above all else, another one. Now, DJ, what a day for you and for Kilkenny.
Yeah, it's, what can I say really, I'm a bit choked at the moment, but it's a great occasion, absolutely fantastic. Right from the off, you know, we were determined this year, but determination will win some things, it won't win everything. You have to have the level of skill, the level of commitment, not alone on the field, but it has to be there off the field as well, and you know, I'm thrilled for everyone involved.
Certainly today, when the people started shouting DJ, DJ, what is that like? That is so unique.
Well, Marty, a lot of people say that, but honestly, on the field, you don't hear anything, and I didn't hear anything today. I listen to it on the television if it's there, and you know, it's fantastic. It's the end of our year. It's the greatest occasion that any GAA player can play in, is an All-Ireland final, and you know, I'm lucky now to have played in 6, and thank God we got the 3rd one today.
Well, a couple of years ago, DJ Carey, you saddened us all when you decided to retire. I'm saying a few Offaly lads would be glad if you stayed retired after today. DJ Carey, Man of the Match in the All-Ireland final of 2000. Congratulations to Kilkenny. Congratulations to DJ from City West Hotel in Saggart. Back to you, Michael, in the studio.
Absolutely, what a player. It's been a privilege over the years to watch that man play hurling. Well, all through the season, our video diary item has been following some of the cream of the crop in hurling as they've built up to the big games. Right now, we're going to have a look back at some of the moments from that video diary item, and also perhaps one or two of the moments that they might not necessarily wanted us to show you.
That's it, because I have no, no key.
What? Wait a second there.
You have to be out there to understand what it's like. It's brilliant.
It's been a bit stiff after last night, but just come together. So hopefully it'll all knit together, for us all on Sunday.
Through 70 minutes, the way Offaly are going to approach it, the way we're going into this game is that it's 70 minutes from an All-Ireland.
We have 2 Leinster finals after they've won All-Ireland, so we can really swap a Leinster final for an All-Ireland now at this stage. Everyone will think, their hair going down, not to fulfill the fixture.
Please give me a break for this.
Probably be honest and say, I didn't think we played like that. Geez, these lads out there are just fabulous. Second half, I don't know where Keane and the boys got their energy from in the second half, but it was great.
All right. Pins.
Make sure you bring Matty into it there now. Make sure you bring Matty into it there now.
We come out here with a very credible performance, I think.
Thanks, man.
All right, boys.
Thanks.
We had chances, but I don't think we didn't take them. So unfortunately, it's back to the golf course.
And that pretty much takes us to the end of the show. My thanks indeed to Liam and to Cyril for their contributions tonight. And a final word of congratulations to all over in the City West Hotel. I'm sure that you'll continue to enjoy the rest of the night. Let's indeed go over to the Kilkenny Team Hotel for one final burst of a song from there. Now this actually comes from Jerry Kelly, who in fact is from Connacht, but he's Kilkenny's selected fan of the Championship 2000. And he's going to give a little rendition of, guess what? The Rose of One Coin.
Oh, how sweet 'tis to roam by your sunny shore stream, to hear the dove coo 'neath the lark's dreary stream, by the thrush and the robin, where first I did join, on the banks of the shore that flows down by Mooncoin. Flow on, lovely river, flow gently along, with your water so deep, sound the lark's merry song. By your green banks I wander, where first I did join with you, lovely Molly, the rose of Mooncoin. Oh, Molly.
And that's where we must leave City West and indeed the Senior Hurling Championship for the year 2000. We've seen many brave performances, many fine teams and players come and go, but only one can claim the cup. Until the next time, bye-bye.
I look into the window of my mind, reflections of the fears I know I've left behind. I step out of the ordinary, I can feel my soul ascending. I'm on my way, can't stop me now, and you can do the same, yeah. What have you done today to make you feel proud? It's never too late to try. What have you done today to make you feel proud? You could be so many people if you make that grab for freedom. What have you done today to make you feel proud? Still so many answers I don't know. There are so many answers. Realize that true question is how we grow. To question is to grow. So I step out of the ordinary, I can feel my soul ascending. I'm on my way, can't stop me now. You can do the same, yeah. What have you done today to make you ground. Yeah, we need a change. Yeah, do it today. Yeah, I can feel my spirit rising. Change. Yeah, we need a change. Yeah, so do it today. Yeah.